ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣ ಓಂ ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣ
ಓಂ ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣ ಓಂ ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣ
ಗೋವಿಂದ ಹರಿ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಹರಿ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಹರಿ ಗೋವಿಂದ
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 ಓಂ ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣ ಓಂ ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣ
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 ಕೇಶವ ಹರಿ ಕೇಶವ ಹರಿ ಕೇಶವ ಹರಿ ಕೇಶವ
ಕೇಶವ ಹರಿ ಕೇಶವ ಹರಿ ಕೇಶವ ಹರಿ ಕೇಶವ
ಮಾಧವ ಹರಿ ಮಾಧವ ಹರಿ ಮಾಧವ ಹರಿ ಮಾಧವ
ಮಾಧವ ಹರಿ ಮಾಧವ ಹರಿ ಮಾಧವ ಹರಿ ಮಾಧವ
ಗೋವಿಂದ ಹರಿ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಹರಿ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಹರಿ ಗೋವಿಂದ
ಗೋವಿಂದ ಹರಿ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಹರಿ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಹರಿ ಗೋವಿಂದ
ಓಂ ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣ ಓಂ ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣ
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 ಓಂ ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣ
ಓಂ ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣ
ಓಂ ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣ
ಓಂ ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣ
ಓಂ ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣ
ಓಂ ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣ
श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय गोविंद 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 गिरिधारी
गोविंद 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 गिरिधारी
गोविंद 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 गिरिधारी
गोविंद 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 गिरिधारी
गोविंद गिरिधारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
गोविंद गिरिधारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
गोविंद गिरिधारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
गोविंद गिरिधारी गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
गो
Hari Om everyone. Can you all see me clearly? Hear me clearly? Okay, very good. Hope and pray that you are all doing well. We will begin with the Lalita Sahasranamam after the invocation, and then proceed into the 28th chapter, I believe. Yeah, 28th chapter of the third skanda, Tritiya skanda of Bhagavatam. So we will start with the invocation. Join me along. सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। Let us begin Lalita Sahasranamam. ॐ ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहां त्रिनयनां माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरत् तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीमापीनवक्षोरुहां पाणिभ्यां मलिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम् अरुणां करुणातरङ्गिताक्षीं धृतपाशाङ्कुशपुष्पबाणचापाम् अणिमादिभिरावृतां मयूखैः अहमित्येव विभावये भवानीं ध्यायेत् पद्मासनस्थां विकसितवदनां पद्मपत्रायताक्षीं हेमाभां पीतवस्त्रां करकलितलसधेमपद्मां वराङ्गीं सर्वालङ्कारयुक्तां सततमभयदां भक्तनम्रां भवानीं श्रीविद्यां शान्तमूर्तिं सकलसुरनुतां सर्वसम्पत्प्रदात्रीं सकुङ्कुमविलेपनामलिकचुम्बिकस्तूरिकां समन्दहसितेक्षणां सशरचापपाशाङ्कुशाम् अशेषजनमोहिनीमरुणमाल्यभूषाम्बरां जपाकुसुमभासुरां जपविधौ स्मरेदम्बिकाम्। ॐ श्रीमाता श्रीमहाराज्ञी श्रीमत्सिंहासनेश्वरी चिदग्निकुण्डसम्भूता देवकार्यसमुद्यता उद्यद्भानुसहस्राभा चतुर्बाहुसमन्विता रागस्वरूपपाषाढ्या क्रोधाकाराङ्कुशोज्ज्वला मनोरूपेक्षुकोदण्डा पञ्चतन्मात्रसायका निजारुणप्रभापूरा मज्जद्ब्रह्माण्डमण्डला चम्पकाशोकपुन्नागसौगन्धिकलसत्कचा कुरुविन्दमणिश्रेणी कनत्कोटीरमण्डिता अष्टमी चन्द्रविभ्राजदलिकस्थलशोभिता मुखचन्द्रकलङ्काभा मृगनाभिविशेषका वदनस्मरमाङ्गल्य गृहतोरणचिल्लिका वक्त्रलक्ष्मीपरीवाहा चलन्मीनाभलोचना नवचम्पकपुष्पाभा नासादण्डविराजिता ताराकान्तितिरस्कारी नासाभरणभासुरा कदम्बमञ्जरीक्लुप्तकर्णपूरमनोहरा ताटङ्कयुगलीभूततपनोडुपमण्डला पद्मरागशिलादर्श परिभाविकपोलभूः नवविद्रुमबिम्बश्री न्यक्कार्यरतनच्छदा शुद्धविद्याङ्कुराकारा द्विजपङ्क्तिद्वयोज्ज्वला कर्पूरवीटिकामोदसमाकर्षिदिगन्तरा निजसल्लापमाधुर्यविनिर्भत्सितकच्छपी मन्दस्मितप्रभापूरा मज्जत्कामेशमानसा अनाकलितसादृश्य चिबुकश्रीविराजिता कामेशबद्धमाङ्गल्यसूत्रशोभितकन्दरा कनकाङ्गदकेयूरा कमनीयभुजान्विता रत्नग्रैवेयचिन्ता कलोलमुक्ता फलान्विता कामेश्वरप्रेमरत्नमणिप्रतिपनस्तनी नाभ्यालवालरोमाली लताफलकुचद्वयी लक्षरोमलताधारतासमुन्नेयमध्यमा स्तनभारदलन्मध्यपट्टबन्धवलित्रया अरुणारुणकौस्तुम्भवस्त्रभास्वत्कटीतटी रत्नकिङ्किणिकारम्या रशनादामभूषिता कामेशज्ञातसौभाग्यमार्दवोरुद्वयान्विता माणिक्यमकुटाकारा जानुद्वयविराजिता इन्द्रगोपपरिक्षिप्त स्मरत्तूर्णाभजङ्गिका गूढगुल्फा कूर्मपृष्ठा जयिष्णुप्रपदान्विता नखदीदिति सञ्चन्ना नमज्जनतमो गुणा पदद्वयप्रभाजाला पराक्रसरोरुहा सिञ्जानमणिमञ्जीरमण्डितश्रीपदाम्बुजा मरालीमन्दगमना महालावण्यशेवधिः सर्वारुणानवद्याङ्गी सर्वाभरणभूषिता शिवकामेश्वराङ्कस्था शिवा स्वाधीनवल्लभा सुमेरुमध्यशृङ्गस्था श्रीमन्नगरनायिका चिन्तामणिगृहान्तस्था पञ्चब्रह्मासनस्थिता महापद्माटवी संस्था कदम्बवनवासिनी सुधासागरमध्यस्था कामाक्षी कामदायिनी देवर्षिगणसङ्घाता स्तूयमानात्मवैभवा भंडासुरवधोद्युक्ता शक्तिसेना समन्विता संपत्करी समारूढ़ सिंधूर व्रज सेविता अश्वारूढ़ाधिष्ठिताश्वकोटिकोटिभिरावृता चक्रराजरथारूढ़ सर्वायुध परिष्कृता गे चक्ररथारूढ़ मंत्रिणी परिसेविता गिरिचक्ररथारूढ़ दंडनाथा पुरस्कृता ज्वालामालिनिकाक्षिप्त वह्निप्राकारमध्यगा भंडसैन्यवदोद्युक्ता शक्तिविक्रमहर्षिता नित्यापराक्रमाटोपा निरीक्षण समुत्सुका भंडपुत्रवदोद्युक्ता बाला विक्रमनंदिता मंत्रिण्यंबा विरचिता विषंगवदोषिता विशुक्रप्राणहरणा वाराही वीर्यनंदिता कामेश्वर मुखालोक कल्पित श्री गणेश्वरा महागणेश निर्भिन्न विघ्न यंत्र प्रहर्षिता भंडा सुरेंद्र निर्मुक्ता शस्त्र प्रत्यस्त्रवर्षिणी करांगुलिनखोत्पन्ना नारायण दशाकृति महापाशुपतास्त्राग्नि निर्दग्धासुर सैनिका कामेश्वरास्त निर्दग्धा सभंडासुर शून्यका ब्रह्मोपेन्द्र महेन्द्रादि देव संस्तुत वैभवा हर नेत्राग्नि संदग्ध काम संजीवनौषधि श्रीमद्वाग्भवकूटैक स्वरूप मुखपंकजा कंठाधक्कटिपर्यंत मध्यकूटस्वरूपिणी शक्तिकूटैकतापन्ना मट्कट्यदोभागधारिणी मूलमंत्रात्मिका मूलकूटत्रयकलेवरा कुलामृतैकरसिका कुलसंकेतपालिनी कुलांगना कुलांतस्था कौलिनी कुलयोगिनी अकुलासमयांतस्था समयाचार तत्परा मूलाधारैकनिलया ब्रह्मग्रंथि विभेदिनी मणिपूरांतरुदिता विष्णुग्रंथि विभेदिनी आज्ञाचक्रांतरालस्था रुद्रग्रंथि विभेदिनी सहस्राराम्बुजारूढ़ा सुधा साराभिवर्षिणी तडिल्लता समरुचि षट्चक्रो परिसंस्थिता महाशक्ति कुंडलिनी विसदंतुतनीयसी भवानी भावनागम्या भवारण्यकुठारिका भद्रप्रिया भद्रमूर्तिर्भक्त सौभाग्यदायिनी भक्तिप्रिया भक्तिगम्या भक्तिवश्या भयापहा शांभवी शारदाराध्या शर्वाणी शर्मदायिनी शांकरी श्रीकरी साध्वी शरच्चंद्र निभानना शातोदरी शांतिमती निराधारा निरंजना निर्लेपा निर्मला नित्या निराकारा निराकुला निर्गुणा निष्कला शांता निष्कामा निरुपप्लवा नित्यमुक्ता निर्विकारा निष्प्रपंचा निराश्रया नित्यशुद्धा नित्यबुद्धा निरवद्या निरंतरा निष्कारणा निष्कलंका निरुपाधिर्निरीश्वरा नीरागारागमथनी निर्मदा मदनाशिनी निश्चिंता निरहंकारा निर्मोहा मोहनाशिनी निर्ममा ममता हंत्री निष्पापा पापनाशिनी निष्क्रोधा क्रोधशमनी निर्लोभा लोभनाशिनी निस्संशया संशयग्नि निर्भवा भवनाशिनी निर्विकल्पा निराबाधा निर्भेदा भेदनाशिनी निर्नाशा मृत्युमथनी निष्क्रिया निष्परिग्रहा निस्तुला नीलचिकुरा निरपाया निरत्यया दुर्लभा दुर्गमा दुर्गा दुःखहंत्री सुखप्रदा दुष्टदूरा दुराचार शमनी दोषवर्जिता सर्वज्ञा सांद्र करुणा समानाधिकवर्जिता सर्वशक्तिमयी सर्वमंगला सद्गतिप्रदा सर्वेश्वरी सर्वमयी सर्वमंत्रस्वरूपिणी सर्वयंत्रात्मिका सर्वतंत्ररूपा मनोन्मनी माहेश्वरी महादेवी महालक्ष्मी बुडप्रिया महारूपा महापूज्या महापातकनाशिनी महामाया महासत्वा महाशक्तिर्महारतिः महाभोगा महेश्वर्या महावीर्या महाबला महाबुद्धिर्महासिद्धिर्महायोगेश्वरेश्वरी महातंत्रा महामंत्रा महायंत्रा महासना महायागक्रमाराध्या महाभैरवपूजिता महेश्वर महाकल्पा महातांडव साक्षिणी महाकामेश महिषी महात्रिपुरसुंदरी चतुष्षष्टुपचाराढ्या चतुष्षष्टिकलामयी महाचतुष्षष्टिकोटि योगिनी गणसेविता मनुविद्या चंद्रविद्या चंद्रमंडल मध्यगा चारुरूपा चारुहासा चारुचंद्रकलाधरा चराचर जगन्नाथ चक्रराजनिकेतना पार्वती पद्मनयना पद्मराग समप्रभा पंचप्रेतासनासीना पंचब्रह्मस्वरूपिणी चिन्मयी परमानंदा विज्ञान घनरूपिणी ध्यानध्यातृध्येय रूपा धर्माधर्म विवर्जिता विश्वरूपा जागरिणी स्वपंती तैजसात्मिका सुप्ता प्राज्ञात्मिका तुर्या सर्वावस्था विवर्जिता सृष्टिकर्त्री ब्रह्मरूपा गोप्त्री गोविंदरूपिणी संहारिणी रुद्ररूपा तिरोधानकरीश्वरी सदाशिवानुग्रहदा पंचकृत्यपरायणा भानुमंडल मध्यस्था भैरवी भगमालिनी पद्मासना भगवती पद्मनाभ सहोदरी उन्मेष निमिषोत्पन्न विपन्न भुवनावली सहस्रशीर्षवदना सहस्राक्षी सहस्रपात आब्रह्मकीट जननी वर्णाश्रम विधायिनी निजाज्ञारूप निगमा पुण्या पुण्यफलप्रदा श्रुति सीमंत सिंदूरी कृतपादाब्ज धूलिका सकल आगम संदोहा शुक्ति संपुट मुक्तिका पुरुषार्थ प्रदा पूर्णा भोगिनी भुवनेश्वरी अंबिकानादि निधना हरिब्रह्मेन्द्र सेविता नारायणी नादरूपा नामरूप विवर्जिता ह्रीङ्कारी ह्रीमती हृदय हेयोपादेयवर्जिता राजराजार्चिता राज्ञी रम्या राजीवलोचना रञ्जनी रमणीरस्य रणत्किङ्किणीमेखला रमा राकेन्दुवदना रतिरूपा रतिप्रिया रक्षाकरी राक्षसग्नि रामा रमणलम्पटा काम्या कामकलारूपा कदम्बकुसुमप्रिया कल्याणी जगती कंदा करुणारससागरा कलावती कलालापा कांता कादंबरी प्रिया वरदा वामनयना वारुणी मदविह्वला विश्वाधिका वेदवेद्या विंध्याचलनिवासिनी विधात्री वेदजननी विष्णुमाया विलासिनी क्षेत्रस्वरूपा क्षेत्रेशी क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञपालिनी क्षयवृद्धिविनिर्मुक्ता क्षेत्रपाल समर्चिता विजया विमला वन्द्या वन्दारुजनवत्सला वाग्वादिनी वामकेशी वह्निमण्डलवासिनी भक्तिमत्कल्पलतिका पशुपाशविमोचनी संहृता शेषपाषण्ड सदाचार प्रवर्तिका तापत्रयाग्निसन्तप्ता समाह्लादनचन्द्रिका तरुणी तापसाराध्या तनुमध्यातमोपहा चितिस्तत्पदलक्ष्यार्था चिदेकरसरूपिणी स्वात्मानन्दलविभूता ब्रह्माद्यानन्दसन्ततिः परा प्रत्यक्षिती रूपा पश्यन्ती परदेवता मध्यमा वैखरी रूपा भक्तमानसहंसिका कामेश्वर प्राणनाडी कृतज्ञा कामपूजिता श्रृंगार रस संपूर्णा जया जालंधर स्थिता ओड्यानपीठ निलया बिंदुमंडलवासिनी रहो यागक्रमाराध्या रहस्तर्पणतर्पिता सद्य प्रसादिनी विश्वसाक्षिणी साक्षिवर्जिता षडंग देवता युक्ता षाड्गुण्य परिपूरिता नित्यक्लिन्ना निरुपमा निर्वाण सुखदायिनी नित्या षोडशिका रूपा श्रीकंठार्ध शरीरिणी प्रभावती प्रभारूपा प्रसिद्धा परमेश्वरी मूल प्रकृतिरव्यक्ता व्यक्ता व्यक्ता स्वरूपिणी व्यापिनी विविधाकारा विद्या विद्या स्वरूपिणी महाकामेश नयना कुमुद आह्लाद कौमुदी भक्तहार्दतमोभेद भानुमद्भानुसंततिः शिवदूती शिवाराध्या शिवमूर्ति शिवंकरी शिवप्रिया शिवपरा शिष्टेष्टा शिष्टपूजिता अप्रमेया स्वप्रकाशा मनोवाचामगोचरा चिच्छक्तिश्चेतना रूपा जडशक्तिर्जडात्मिका गायत्री व्याहृदि संध्या द्विजवृंद निषेविता तत्वासना तत्वमयी पंचकोशांतरस्थिता निस्सीम महिमा नित्य यौवनामदशालिनी मदघूर्णितरक्ताक्षी मदपाटलगण्डभूः चन्दनद्रव दिग्दांगी चाम्पेय कुसुमप्रिया कुशला कोमलाकारा कुरुकुल्लाकुलेश्वरी कुलकुण्डालया कौलमार्गतत्परसेविता कुमारगणनाथाम्बा तुष्टिपुष्टिर्मतिर्धृतिः शान्तिस्वस्तिमती कान्तिर्नन्दिनी विघ्ननाशिनी तेजोवती त्रिनयना लोलाक्षी कामरूपिणी मालिनी हंसिनी माता मलयाचलवासिनी सुमुखी नलिनी शुभ्रशोभना सुरनायिका कालकंठी कांतिमती शोभिनी सूक्ष्मरूपिणी वज्रेश्वरी वामदेवी वयोवस्था विवर्जिता सिद्धेश्वरी सिद्धविद्या सिद्धमाता यशस्विनी विशुद्धिचक्रनिलया रक्तवर्णा त्रिलोचना खट्वांगादिप्रहरणा वदनैकसमन्विता पायसान्नप्रिया त्वक्स्था पशुलोकभयङ्करी अमृतादिमहाशक्ति संवृता डाकिनीश्वरी अनाहताब्जनिलया श्यामा भावदनद्वया दंष्ट्रोज्ज्वलाक्षमालादि धरा रुधिर संस्थिता कालरात्र्यादिशक्त्यौघ वृता स्निग्धौदनप्रिया महावीरेन्द्र वरदा राकिन्यम्बा स्वरूपिणी मणिपूराब्जनिलया वदनत्रय संयुता वज्रादिकायुधोपेता डामर्यादिभिरावृता रक्तवर्णा मांसनिष्ठा गुडान्न प्रीतमानसा समस्त भक्त सुगता लाकिन्यम्बा स्वरूपिणी स्वाधिष्ठानाम्बुजगता चतुर्वक्त्र मनोहरा शूलाध्यायुध संपन्ना पीतवर्णादिगर्विता मेधोनिष्ठा मधुप्रीता बंधिन्यादिसमन्विता दध्यन्नासक्त हृदया काकिनी रूपधारिणी मूलाधाराम्बुजारूढ़ा पंचवक्त्रास्ति संस्थिता अंकुशादिप्रहरणा वरदादिनिषेविता मुद्गौदनासक्तचित्ता साकिन्यम्बा स्वरूपिणी आज्ञाचक्राब्जनिलया शुक्लवर्णा षडानना मज्जा संस्था हंसवती मुख्यशक्ति समन्विता हरिद्रानैकरसिका हाकिनी रूपधारिणी सहस्रदल पद्मस्था सर्ववर्णोपशोभिता सर्वायुधधरा शुक्ल संस्थिता सर्वतोमुखी सर्वौदन प्रीतचित्ता याकिन्यम्बा स्वरूपिणी स्वाहा स्वधामतिर्मेधा श्रुतिस्मृतिरनुत्तमा पुण्यकीर्तिः पुण्यलभ्या पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तना पुलोमजार्चिता बन्धमोचनी बन्धुरालका विमर्शरूपिणी विद्या वेदादिजगत्प्रसूः सर्वव्याधिप्रशमनी सर्ववृत्तिनिवारिणी अग्रगण्या चिन्त्यरूपा कलिकल्मषनाशिनी कात्यायनी कालहन्त्री कमलाक्षनिषेविता ताम्बूलपूरितमुखी दाडिमी कुसुमप्रभा मृगाक्षी मोहिनी मुख्या मृडानी मित्ररूपिणी नित्यतृप्ता भक्तनिधिर्नियन्त्री निखिलेश्वरी मैत्र्यादिवासनालभ्या महाप्रलयसाक्षिणी पराशक्ति परानिष्ठा प्रज्ञान घन रूपिणी माध्वीपानालसामत्ता मातृकावर्ण रूपिणी महाकैलास निलया मृणाल मददोर्लता महनीया दया मूर्तिर्महासाम्राज्यशालिनी आत्मविद्या महाविद्या श्रीविद्या कामसेविता श्री षोडशाक्षरी विद्या त्रिकूटा कामकोटिका कटाक्ष किंकरी भूता कमला कोटिसेविता शिरस्थिता चंद्रनिभा भालस्तेन्द्रधनुप्रभा हृदयस्थार विप्रख्या त्रिकोणांतरदीपिका दाक्षायनी दैत्यहंत्री दक्ष यज्ञ विनाशिनी दरांदोलित दीर्घाक्षी दरहासोज्ज्वलन्मुखी गुरुमूर्तिर्गुणनिधिर्गोमाता गुहजन्मभूः देवेशी दण्डनीतिस्था दहर आकाशरूपिणी प्रतिपन्मुख्यराकान्ता तिथिमण्डलपूजिता कलात्मिका कलानाथा काव्यालाप विनोदिनी सचामररमावाणी सव्यदक्षिणसेविता आदिशक्तिरमेयात्मा परमा पावनाकृतिः अनेककोटिब्रह्माण्ड जननी दिव्यविग्रहा क्लींकारी केवला गुह्या कैवल्यप्रदायिनी त्रिपुरा त्रिजगद्वन्द्या त्रिमूर्तिस्थितशेश्वरी त्रक्षरी दिव्यगन्धाढ्या सिन्धूरतिलकाञ्चिता उमा शैलेन्द्रतनया गौरी गन्धर्वसेविता विश्वगर्भा स्वर्णगर्भा वरदा वागधीश्वरी ध्यानगम्या परिच्छेद्या ज्ञानदा ज्ञानविग्रहा सर्ववेदान्तसंवेद्या सत्यानन्दस्वरूपिणी लोपामुद्रार्चिता लीला क्लुप्तब्रह्माण्डमण्डला अदृश्यादृश्यरहिता विज्ञात्री वेद्यवर्जिता योगिनी योगदा योग्या योगानंदा युगंधरा इच्छाशक्ति ज्ञानशक्ति क्रियाशक्ति स्वरूपिणी सर्वाधारा सुप्रतिष्ठा सदसद्रूपधारिणी अष्टमूर्तिरजा जैत्री लोकयात्रा विधायिनी एकाकिनी भूमरूपा निर्द्वैताद्वैतवर्जिता अन्नदा वसुधा वृद्धा ब्रह्मात्मैक्य स्वरूपिणी बृहती ब्राह्मणी ब्राह्मी ब्रह्मानंद बलिप्रिया भाषा रूपा बृहत्सेना भावा भाव विवर्जिता सुखाराध्या शुभकरी शोभना सुलभागतिः राजराजेश्वरी राज्यदायिनी राज्यवल्लभा राजत्कृपा राजपीठ निवेशित निजाश्रिता राज्यलक्ष्मी कोशनाथा चतुरंगबलेश्वरी साम्राज्यदायिनी सत्यसंधा सागरमेखला दीक्षिता दैत्यशमनी सर्वलोकवशंकरी सर्वार्थदात्री सावित्री सच्चिदानंदरूपिणी देशकाला परिच्छिन्ना सर्वगा सर्वमोहिनी सरस्वती शास्त्रमयी गुहाम्बा गुह्यरूपिणी सर्वोपाधिविनिर्मुक्ता सदाशिवपतिव्रता संप्रदायेश्वरी साध्वी शरच्चंद्रनिभानना संप्रदायेश्वरी साध्वी गुरुमंडल रूपिणी कुलोत्तीर्णा भगाराध्या माया मधुमतीमही गणाम्बा गुह्यकाराध्या कोमलांगी गुरुप्रिया स्वतंत्रा सर्वतंत्रेशी दक्षिणामूर्तिरूपिणी सनकादिसमाराध्या शिवज्ञानप्रदायिनी चित्कलानंदकलिका प्रेमरूपा प्रियंकरी नामपारायण प्रीता नंदिविद्या नटेश्वरी मिथ्या जगदधिष्ठाना मुक्तिदा मुक्तिरूपिणी लास्य प्रिया लयकरी लज्जारंभादिवंदिता भवदा वसुधा वृष्टि पापारण्यदवानला दौर्भाग्यतूल वातूला जराध्वांतर विप्रभा भाग्याब्दिचंद्रिका भक्त चित्तकेकी घना घना रोगपर्वत दंभोलिर्मृत्युदारु कुठारिका महेश्वरी महाकाली महाग्रासा महाशना अपर्णा चंडिका चंडमुंडासुरनिषूदिनी क्षराक्षरात्मिका सर्वलोकेशी विश्वधारिणी त्रिवर्गदात्री सुभगा त्र्यंबका त्रिगुणात्मिका स्वर्गापवर्गदा शुद्धा जपा पुष्पनिभाकृतिः ओजोवती द्युतिधरा यज्ञरूपा प्रियव्रता दुराराध्या दुरादर्शा पाटली कुसुमप्रिया महती मेरुनिलया मंदार कुसुमप्रिया वीराराध्या विराट रूपा विरजा विश्वतोमुखी प्रत्यग रूपा पराकाशा प्राणदा प्राणरूपिणी मार्तांड भैरवाराध्या मंत्रिणी न्यस्तराज्यदूः त्रिपुरेशी जयत्सेना निस्त्रैगुण्या परापरा सत्यज्ञानानंद रूपा सामरस्य परायणा कपर्दिनी कलामाला कामधुक्कामरूपिणी कलानिधि काव्यकला रसज्ञा रससेवदिः पुष्टा पुरातना पूज्या पुष्करा पुष्करेक्षणा परंज्योतिः परंधामा परमाणुः परात्परा पाशहस्ता पाशहंत्री परमंत्र विभेदिनी मूर्ता मूर्ता नित्यतृप्ता मुनिमानसहंसिका सत्यव्रता सत्यरूपा सर्वांतर्यामिनी सती ब्रह्माणी ब्रह्मजननी बहुरूपा बुधार्चिता प्रसवित्री प्रचंडाज्ञा प्रतिष्ठा प्रकटाकृतिः प्राणेश्वरी प्राणदात्री पंचाशत्पीठरूपिणी विशृंखला विविक्तस्था वीरमाता वियत्प्रसूः मुकुंदा मुक्तिनिलया मूल विग्रह रूपिणी भावज्ञा भवरोगग्नि भवचक्र प्रवर्तिनी छंदसारा शास्त्रसारा मंत्रसारा तलोधरी उदार कीर्तिरुद्दाम वैभवा वर्णरूपिणी जन्म मृत्युजरा तप्त जन विश्रांतिदायिनी सर्वोपनिषदुद्घुष्टा शान्त्यतीत कलात्मिका गंभीरा गगनान्तस्था गर्विता गानलोलुपा कल्पनारहिता काष्ठा कांता कांतार्ध विग्रहा कार्यकारण निर्मुक्ता कामकेली तरंगिता कनत कनकताटंका लीला विग्रहधारिणी अजाक्षय विनिर्मुक्ता मुग्धा क्षिप्र प्रसादिनी अंतर्मुख समाराध्या बहिर्मुख सुदुर्लभा त्रयी त्रिवर्ग निलया त्रिस्था त्रिपुरमालिनी निरामया निरालंबा स्वात्मा रामा सुधासृति संसार पंक निर्मग्ना समुद्धरण पंडिता यज्ञ प्रिया यज्ञकर्त्री यजमान स्वरूपिणी धर्माधारा धनाध्यक्षा धनधान्य विवर्धिनी विप्रप्रिया विप्ररूपा विश्वभ्रमणकारिणी विश्वग्रासा विद्रुमाभा वैष्णवी विष्णुरूपिणी अयो निर्यो निलया कूटस्थाकुलरूपिणी वीरगोष्ठी प्रिया वीरा नैष्कर्म्यानादरूपिणी विज्ञानकलनाकल्या विदग्धा बैन्दवासना तत्त्वाधिका तत्त्वमयी तत्त्वमर्थस्वरूपिणी सामगान प्रिया सौम्या सदा शिव कुटुंबिनी सव्यापसव्य मार्गस्था सर्वापद्विनिवारिणी स्वस्था स्वभाव मधुरा धीरा धीर समर्चिता चैतन्यार्घ्य समाराध्या चैतन्य कुसुम प्रिया सदोदिता सदातुष्टा तरुणादित्य पाटला दक्षिणा दक्षिण आराध्या दरस्मेर मुखाम्बुजा कौलिनी केवल अनर्घ्या कैवल्य पददायिनी स्तोत्र प्रिया स्तुतिमती श्रुति संस्तुत वैभवा मनस्विनी मानवती महेशी मंगलाकृति विश्वमाता जगद्धात्री विशालाक्षी विरागिणी प्रगल्भा परमोदारा परामोदा मनोमयी व्योमकेशी विमानस्था वज्रिणी वामकेश्वरी पंचयज्ञ प्रिया पंच प्रेत पंचाधिशायिनी पंचमी पंचभूतेशी पंचसंख्योपचारिणी शाश्वती शाश्वतैश्वर्या शर्मदा शंभुमोहिनी धरा धरसुता धन्या धर्मिणी धर्मवर्धिनी लोकातीता गुणातीता सर्वातीता क्षमात्मिका बंधुक कुसुम प्रख्या बाला लीला विनोदिनी सुमंगली सुखगरी सुवेशा अड्या सुवासिनी सुवासिन्यर्चन प्रीता शोभना शुद्धमानसा बिंदुदर्पण संतुष्टा पूर्वजा त्रिपुरांबिका दशमुद्रा समाराध्या त्रिपुरा श्रीवशंकरी ज्ञानमुद्रा ज्ञानगम्या ज्ञानज्ञेय स्वरूपिणी योनिमुद्रा त्रिखंडेशी त्रिगुण अंबा त्रिकोणगा अनघाद्भुत चारित्र्य वांछिता अर्थप्रदायिनी अभ्यासादिश यज्ञात श्रद्धातीत रूपिणी अव्याज करुणामूर्तिरज्ञानध्वांत दीपिका आबालगोपविदिता सर्वानुल्लंघ शासना श्रीचक्रराज निलया श्रीमत् त्रिपुर सुंदरी श्री शिवा शिवशक्त्यैक्य रूपिणी ललितांबिका एवं श्रीललिता देव्या नाम्नां सहस्रकं जगुः इति श्री ब्रह्मांड पुराणे उत्तरखंडे श्री हयग्रीवागस्त्य संवादे श्री ललिता सहस्रनाम स्तोत्र कथनं संपूर्णम्. I'll be just back in a moment. Can you hear me clearly? Awesome. Let us begin with the invocation for Bhagavatam, and then we will jump straight into the 28th chapter of the third canto, third skandha. सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः. जन्माद्यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतः चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः. तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयः यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मः प्रोज्झितकैतवोऽत्र परमः निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम् श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तक्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमुतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः. So after Kardama Mahamuni left for his tapas, though Bhagavan was Swayam his own child, having seen Bhagavat Darshana, he said, now let me find the stability to merge and be one with that Paramatma. Devahuti was left behind, and she was keen, she was interested in getting to that point where this transmigration does not hit back again. I was talking to somebody, they're shifting from one place to the other, moving from one town to the other, one city to the other. So I was talking to that family, and the son is saying, it is so difficult to move from one to the other. It is not an easy thing. Imagine, the thought that came in my head was, moving from one town to the other, one city to the other itself is a difficult. You don't want to, and you want to settle in a nice immovable space. But when we pull back, zoom out and check, how many lives have we kept going on and on and on? Even after we understand the concept that this transmigration is constant and we have been with innumerable number of lives, and all that is because of our attachments, our vasanas, which come down as desire, desire karma, karma as the karma phala, the attachment again whips you. This whole cycle, we know that. Because we have been hearing for last 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Vedanta, oh Vedanta. But the impact of it should be that this life and it is it. Devahuti had that purity of intention. That this is it. In this life, I want to transcend it and be done. So she went to her son, expressed this, and son was too happy to hear of this viveka and the overpowering vairagya that is there seen in his own mother. So he first starts with the concept of bhakti, then the purusha prakriti vijnana, and now with that clarity and that foundation of bhakti, this is what is the life of sadhana. The yoga marga will take us, yoga when I say here, it is the one which today we recognize as the Ashtanga Yoga, the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, and now I think there is a product and everybody is pronouncing it as they feel like. It is Patanjali, that is the Rishi's name, not Patanjali, whatever else. Every time a Rishi's name is mispronounced, it is like somebody is taking a dagger to my heart. And Patanjali Rishi. So his Ashtanga Yoga was again given by Bhagavan himself, and here that Bhagavan, very avatar of Bhagavan Vishnu, in Kapila Mahamuni is giving. Now the purpose of this Ashtanga Yoga is Chitta Shuddhi. Now what is Chitta Shuddhi? In the very beginning, I think it is the second sutra, he says Chitta Vritti Nirodhaha iti Yogaha. Yogaha Chitta Vritti Nirodhaha. And it is not to be misunderstood of annihilation of mind. Now within the mind there are willed thoughts and unwilled thoughts. That which I am willing, that which I am desiring, or I am laying a path forward, you better take responsibility for which you have taken the sankalpa for. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent, horrifying, however it be, you are taking the decision, you better be responsible for all the consequences for it. That should not be a problem. If you are investing yourself into a certain direction, you better know why you are investing into that direction. At a later point, ayyayo, Bhagwane, ayyayo, kadale, that will not help. You started it, you take the responsibility for the entirety of it. You are setting that into motion. That is your willed thought. Unwilled thought are those which I don't want to, but it is like a vehement tsunami, a whirlpool that just sucks me in. It is not because of graha dosha. It is only because of my duragraha dosha. Wrong insistent living, insisting on the wrong patterns, to stop that. Otherwise, the misinterpretation of the entire yoga prakriya is, it doesn't fit into the logic of what our Vaidika Shastra is giving. It is not to reach a no mind state. Let me make that very, very clear again and again, insistently repeating it. The purpose of the Hindu Dharma Shastra, Hindu Vaidika Dharma, is not to reach to a state of no mind. Shunyatva, Shunyavada is not our purpose. It is to reach to a point where this mind, which is an equipment, I can use it with accessible, balanced control on it at my will. And that unwilled mind has to be stopped. So that whatever I will, I can channelize it, whether it is for Vyavahara, to cater to the prarabdhavashat, whatever karma that I have to do to answer to it, or to pursue the inside. Both have to be handled. So he says, Bhagavan begins, he says, Yogasya lakshanam vakshe sabijasya nripatmaje mano yenaiva vidhina prasannam yati satpatham. Satpatham. This pathway which leads us towards that Satvastu, that existential principle. Now, when you are saying that it is the existential principle, then calling it as no mind or shunya, no, it doesn't work that way. So we have to cautiously withdraw ourselves from the feel-good factors of ashastriya, but a feel-good factor, sound bites. What are you doing? I was meditating. I was in a no mind state. By mentioning that, you clearly state that you are already in it. बुद्धि काम नहीं कर रहा है. बेवकूफी. हाँ. Bevkufi matlab the act is being condemned. Bevkuf matlab the actor is being condemned. So I corrected myself there. So it is Satpatham. Satpatham, that which leads us to abide in our own true nature, which is the existential principle. The preparation must be ready. So yogasya lakshanam vakshe. In this next chapter, I will tell you what is the purpose of this yoga, what is the purpose of following this, what is the very path of sadhana mean. Mano yenaiva vidhina prasannam yati. You will reach to that abode which is of the very nature of amazing bliss, joy unbound, happiness, which is our true nature. So where do we begin with? Likh lo, point by point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then put it on a calendar sheet. This day, did I do this? Did I do this? Did I do this? Did I do this? Did I not do this? Self-evaluation only. You don't have to carry a folder that to evaluate my neighbor, evaluate my friend, evaluate my Devi Group members, evaluate this, evaluate that. Have a folder month-wise, this person, X person, Y person, Z, whether they are following it or not following, Satvik, Rajasic, Tamasic. It is for one's own evaluation only. Nothing else. Point 1. Swadharmacharanam shaktya vidharmacha nivartanam daivallabdhena santosha atmavicharanarchanam. Point 1. Swadharmacharanam shaktya. Consciously try living a dharmic way of life. Vidharmacha nivartanam. And that which is vidharma, to consciously withdraw from it. Otherwise, there will be no difference between Duryodhana and ourselves. Duryodhana also, when asked, he very clearly said, what do you think, I am dumb or what? I have also gone to a Gurukula. I have also learnt what is Shastra. I have also learnt what is Dharma and Adharma. But what to do? Janami dharmam, nachame pravritti. Janami adharmam, nachame nivritti. I know what is dharma adharma. Janami dharmam, nachame pravritti. मुझसे होता ही नहीं है यार. I cannot live that life of dharma. So much of responsibility. मेरे से तो होगा ही नहीं. I know what is adharma also. Nacha me nivritti. I don't know how to pull myself out of it. Why? After reading through all this, you cannot blame it on the Guru, because it is the same Gurukula that others also studied, like Yudhishthira, Bhima and others. I know what is adharma, but I don't know how to get out of it. And what is the compelling reason? Kenapi devena hridisthitena. Somebody inside is pushing me to do it. Now I can say this is not just Bevkufi, it is Bevkuf also. The Duryodhana pravritti is like he is blaming someone else for his own willed acts. So there has to be a conscious decision that Swadharma Charanam Shaktya Yatha Shakti. At this point, I may not be able to do because of my own constraints, because of my own lack of clarity. But as the clarity improves, I keep fine-tuning my own dharmic way of life. But as soon as I recognize what is adharma, I walk away from it clean. uproot it from its roots, throw it away, and move forward. Daival labdhena santoshaha. Whatever because of the prarabdha as Bhagavan's prasada that comes as my today's experiences, today's phala that unfolds, find santosha, santrupti, trupti in it. If asantosha can yield an X amount of enthusiasm to do something and find a result, that same effort which when done from santosha will be 100x. Because one is from a disturbance, the other one is from a seat of peace. P-E-A-C-E. So from that which is from the seat of peace will have its completeness, comprehensiveness in its outlook, in its approach, in its effort. Daival labdhena santoshaha and आत्मवित चरणार्चनम. जो अपने गुरु हैं, टुडे वी कॉल एवरीबडी अ गुरु. कॉलेज में पहली बार किसी ने सिगरेट दिया, थैंक्स गुरु, तो उसको भी गुरु मानने बैठे हैं. गुरु इज दैट हु गुकारः अंधकारः. अंधकारः हियर मीन्स दैट हु डज नॉट नो हिज ओन ट्रू नेचर. Nivartakaha, the one who removes that spiritual guide, spiritual guru, tat padarchanam, to worship their feet. There are two ways of doing it. One, physically hold their feet, put them in cold water, wash them, scrub them, offer chandan, kumkum, tika. Yeah, this is one way of doing it. The second way is that where the teacher is abiding in, standing forth in, to constantly do the upasana to reach there and stand in that, abide in that clarity. Atmavit charanarchanam, padarchanam. Next, a very practical, very simple language it is given. ग्राम्य धर्म निवृत्तिश्च मोक्ष धर्म रतिर्स्तथा मतिमेध्यादान आदनम शाश्वत विविक्त क्षेम सेवनम. ग्राम्य धर्म निवृत्तिश्च. ग्राम्य मीनिंग गॉसिप. गॉसिप से विथड्रॉ करो. Who is saying this? Kapila Mahamuni Ji is saying it to his mother in that day and age and time. So gossip is not something new. What goes across the world faster than internet is gossip. तूने सुना? नहीं. स्वामी जी, डिड यू हियर? अब बोलोगे तो पता चलेगा. बोलने से पहले, बिफोर यू टेल, इज इट ट्रूथफुल? Will it benefit me hearing it? Will it benefit you sharing it? None of the above. Zip it up. पर स्वामी जी पेट दर्द हो जाएगा, पचेगा नहीं अंदर, it will not digest. And this FOMO, fear of missing out. पता नहीं कुछ तो बोल रहे हैं तो मुझे मालूम नहीं है. Bite your nails. ग्राम्य धर्म निवृत्ति. Gossip withdraw. कही सुनी बातों पे मत जाओ. Whether it is for vyavahara or it is for shastra adhyayana. Moksha dharma ratistatha. That which will help me liberate myself from this sense of limitedness that I am existing in, as those methods that will help me liberate. Ratistatha. I constantly engage in that and try to grow. And those that create unnecessary disturbance, those that they dry out, they exhaust my energy, my resources, my abilities. I mean, I thought I should be talking this only to the kids, but these days I had to talk to the parents also. Half an hour before you go to sleep, put your cell phones on mute, turn it away and plug it in and forget it. सोने के बाद, after you lie down on the bed, then don't open it up. And last messages just before I sleep. And then there will be some stupid link, some foolish draw there, and then you open that, and then that video will lead to another video to another video, another. By the time, अरे टाइम इतना हो गया रे. हाँ जानता हूँ. थैंक यू सर हिलाने के लिए. Put all these screens aside. It is there on that YouTube or wherever it is. कब भागे जा रहा है? Even if it is important, but not urgent, कब भागे जा रहा है वो? है तो वहीं पे. Tomorrow also you can, day after also you can. Just like you postpone your sadhana, you can postpone that also. That which is blocking you from, in early morning you have to get up so that you can do your sadhana, you can do your yoga abhyasa, you can do your puja, archana, dhyana, swadhyaya. So sleeping early would help. But then, Swamiji, it helps me wind down. After the hectic, busy day, I need something to relax. That is wasting your energy. That is not called relaxation. That is, even if it is to be called as relaxation, that is called tamasic relaxation. Go refer to 17th chapter. What is tamasic sukha, tamasic rajasic sukha, and sattvic sukha? Focus on your breathing, take the name of Bhagavan and slowly withdraw with that name into that sleep. So that when you wake up fresh, you wake up with energy. Otherwise, waking itself is, I have to get up, another day. I'll get up again. Another 10 minutes, another 30 minutes, another 20 minutes. And the same face will go and tell the kids, nothing doing, get up. What were you doing an hour ago? You know certain foods will not jive well. Why unnecessarily? That which might tickle you for 2 minutes on the tongue, but later कुछ तो हो रहा है, no? That acidity, bloating, cannot. Why? You are the one that are putting it. It is not like there is a movie called Maya Bazaar where the pots and pots of things that it will go magically. Nothing is going magically into your mouth, right? You are putting it in. Pay attention to it. You know when you are full. Stop. You know it doesn't suit you. Stop. अब बच्चे तो नहीं रहे हम लोग. बच्चे होते हैं ना, कान के नीचे दो खींच के मारता बताता मैं. बच्चे भी तो नहीं रहे. So that which is stopping me waste my resources and energies and time into unnecessary things, withdraw from it. You met for lunch or dinner, and there they are talking about one particular Netflix, Julu, Pulu, Hulu, whatever it is, and you also sat down whole night to binge watch 2 nights. The third night, niddene barta illa. I can't sleep, Swamiji. I think I'm a night owl. Don't get again caught up in this unnecessary sound bites. It is about a habit. There is no night owl. There is no I'm not a morning person. It is a habit that which we instill. If it is not helping us do our sadhana, that has to be uprooted mercilessly. Period. Moksha dharmaratis tatha. Mitam medhyadan. Medhya, that which is being eaten, has to be limited. Just sufficient to run the vehicle. Body, mind and intellect will require its whatever necessary. But mitam. Hitabhuk, mitabhuk, ritabhuk. Eat that which is hitakaram. Not just which suits your body, but which is sattvic in nature. Hitabhuk. Mitabhuk. Eat in limited quantity. Don't overstuff yourself. Don't underdo it. Don't overdo it. Mitabhuk. Ritabhuk. Eat that which the Shastra is prescribing as the sattvic. Hitabhuk, mitabhuk, ritabhuk. Hitam, mitam, ritam. Mita, medhyadanam. Adanam, to eat. Mitam. लिमिट में रखो. शश्वत विविक्त क्षेम सेवनम. Two years we had opportunity to practice this. To practice living in solitude. But as a generic population, I could have understood. Swamiji, it is so psychologically depressing to be all by yourself. Even a sadhaka speaks that language. त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव. Oh Bhagavan, I am never alone. You are always there every step of the way. ये लोनलीनेस काटने को दौड़ रहा है स्वामी जी. अरे पीछे मुड़ के तो देखो कि वो दौड़ भी रहा है कि नहीं, या तुम्हारा वहम है. Is it that you are imagining that it is coming to kill you, or is it there really? When you investigate, you will find that there is nothing like that. So if you are a sadhaka, instill that inside ki. This is the sadhaka's life, is a life of the soul warrior, walking the path, paving the path for himself or herself, with Bhagavan as pramana, pratyaksha sakshi. Chareveti. And Gurudev used to say it beautifully. He used to say, when we say I am bored, bored with who? Being yourself. And that you want to thrust, that disgusting fellow that you cannot stand yourself, you want to thrust on the rest of them. And wherever you go, what is that you do is Gramya Dharma. Gossip, oh gossip. So much of kachada we unnecessarily fill. Stench. Durvasana. I'll stop here, otherwise the examples that are coming are quite... So Vivikta Sevanam. Kshema Sevanam. Kshema is make sure that you find abhaya in being in solitude. Meaning engage yourself in that solitude in a constructive way which builds you, paves your path towards that moksha. And then, of course, ahimsa, satyamasteyam, these qualities have to be inculcated as well. These are called the Daivi Sampatti. Ahimsa. Ahimsa. Consciously do not go around creating himsa, whether it is thought, word, or deed, towards anybody. Or anything. But when you have to protect something for an higher ideal, don't be a chicken with its head cut. Stand up and stand up firm. Don't be a doormat. But at the same time, consciously avoid ahimsa. Avoid himsa, not ahimsa. Ahimsa, satyam, follow life of truthfulness, honesty, loyalty. Honesty before, during, and afterwards of any committed sankalpa that you are taking. Like otherwise the kids have learnt, they do something which is stupid, and then when they are caught, they say, I'm being honest, right? Honesty is fruitful only when it is in the platform of integrity. When there is no integrity and then you are being honest, it is not helpful. Honesty is when that integrity is maintained through and through. Satyam. Asteyam. Asteyam, that which is not yours, don't claim, don't take. It is so subtle. I think I have explained this somewhere earlier as well. Being there with Gurudev and when you serve, there's so much that you learn. If at all you can put your ego aside in service and be there. So once the most of the work that the young ones like me who were there around were given was, Gurudev would say, okay, fold the letters that I write, put them in an envelope, write the address, stick a stamp and close it. There's so many things that I got to learn at every single step of the way. And the reason I say that, put your ego aside, otherwise what happens when you are being corrected and being taught the right methods at every single step of the day, I feel so bad, I feel so remorseful that, I am being corrected at every single, tu kya asman se tapaka kya? We are not perfect. We should have the humility to be learning properly. The folding of the paper. When the paper is like, if there is this paper, then he said, fold it in such a way that the letterhead is seen from who, and then fold it so that it is very clearly seen, and as soon as they open, they see the letterhead and the signature. That also was to be taught. Then, as habitual idiot, I took the envelope, wrote the address, and he said this Uchishta, Tamil they would say Echal, Engili in Telugu. Said you shouldn't be doing that because it is service of Narayana. So take that sponge, go get it wet, bring it back, dip your finger in it and go, and then fold it and put it. So one day as I was writing the address, from the envelope which was sent, so that is also an art where once the letter comes, you have to pin the envelope, the letter and any other content in it in a sequential order for him to browse through. And once done, he will give that so that the from address is copied down and you write it in the envelope, and there is another book in which he used to maintain the catalog of all the addresses that were sent. He says that is how you reach out. So I had written it down, but my attention fell on the envelope where the stamp. Usually the stamp has a mudra on it that it has been received by that postal service in particular day, particular time, and it was not there. And I sat down and with help of a knife tip, I removed it very patiently. Look at this. He did not judge me for removing it. When I was applying gum on it to be reused, he stopped me. He admonished me. He said that is called being untruthful. It has already served its purpose. It's okay for you to keep it in your collection. I thought you were using it for that. But to repurpose it, that would be called adharma, asatya. Even in that, how nuanced. कोई नहीं देख रहा है, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, सभी तो करते हैं, एवरीबडी डज इट, नोबडी इज वॉचिंग इट, हाउ डज इट मैटर? लटके रहो, हाउ डज इट मैटर? यथास्थानम प्रतिष्ठापय. But if there is a growth that you are aiming for, and the growth is towards that permanency, even these nuances has to be applied. Asteyam Yavadartha parigraha. Whatever is required to run the cause, run the state of our responsibilities, to use those equipments. Beyond that, it is not a necessity. I mean, When I look at my own closet, I feel like 3 sets of clothes more than sufficient. 4 sets maximum. Okay, to conserve water, maybe 5 or 6 for the whole week. You can wash them in one go. There is summer wear, winter wear, no wear. I used to feel guilty. So when people used to, I used to say I would refuse. But then, now if I refuse, they feel bad. I said, okay, give. I gather all of it, anything. When I go from here to India, I have a heavier luggage because I take all of this and redistribute it. And then people are amazing. Swamiji, I gave you that. What happened to it? You gave it to me, right? It is mine, right? Back off. No. I wanted you only to, and nobody else. That which is excess, that which is not required, that don't do the parigraha. Then brahmacharyam tapashaucham swadhyayah purusharchanam. Brahmacharyam is not just about celibacy. We have 10 organs of perception and action, and all 10 of them have to be in complete control. Accessible, balanced, and controlled. All 3 of them. It has to be accessible when I want it, where I want it in. It has to be balanced. All 10 organs. If I may say, there are 12 organs. Mana, buddhi also. That you invoke that mind into that particular direction and you say, start working on it. I feel tired. I feel bored. I feel burnt. Chup! Apply. I should be able to apply it. I've seen people have that kind of a command and control over dogs. कुत्ते पे कंट्रोल है, हम कुत्ते से भी गए गुजरे हैं कि अपने दिमाग पे कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते. The dogs are controlled. You put the food there and until you say eat, it will not eat. It will be salivating. I've seen. If a wild being can be tamed, trained, controlled, this can also be. All the organs of perception, action, mind and intellect, when it is brought under, first of all, we need to have accessibility. When we say to Bhagavan, tan man dhan sab kuch hai tera. Okay, tan you brought. Man, where is it? Somewhere else. We are not being truthful to Bhagavan. That accessibility has to be there. Then balance on it. And then controlled expression wherein you, and people say, it is so stifling to live in a controlled environment. It is your control on yourself for your own well-being. Do you want to be in a vehicle which has a controlled sense of driver or an uncontrolled sense of driver. So it's a wrong equivalence that we give when we say that in a controlled environment, I feel like it is. Basically, you don't want discipline in life. Then you are not a sadhaka. Get out. I am nobody to judge or comment on what you do with your life. But if you are a sadhaka, then discipline is required. Brahmacharyam, tapaha. Tapaha, while leading a dharmic way of life where most of them are not living it, there will be the tapa. Tapa, there will be that kind of a, swimming against the current. There will be friction. You will not be approved by many. You will be looked down upon by many. You will be censured by many. There will be plotters plotting to dismantle you globally. Don't give in, don't give up. Caving in is not the option. To become callous and not care for it is not an option. Give it the best and the best that situation demands from you. Don't give in, don't give up. Give the best that which the situation is demanding. That is called tapas. Shaucham. Tapas is penance. Shaucham. Shaucham means to have inside and outside purity. People talk about, my intentions are pure, but your room is dirty. Clean up. Oh, but my thought is pure. Munjiya paru. Kalvittu va, po. The external and internal, both of them have to be clean and sanctified. Shaucham. Then swadhyaya. Then comes swadhyaya. Without this preparation, swadhyaya is also like a flushed out effort. Then you sit down with the Prakarana Grantha, learn systematically, learn from a guru, learn with humility, apply it. There will be several failures. Go get it corrected, checked, reassess, and reapply yourself. Swadhyaya is Shastra Vichara, learning it. Swa Adhyaya, to be able to evaluate oneself. Both have to happen hand in hand. Swadhyaya, then Purushacharanam. Purushacharanam, make it a habit to worship your Ishta Devata and do the japa of that Ishta Devata as a daily practice. Upasana is a must. Upasana helps clean the mind, Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata. Because there's a lot of tenacity that the mind has to build to work on yourself. The toughest challenge that we ever face is ourselves. Though we blame, I would have worked if I did not have this factors. Last 2 years, those factors were not there. Most of the factors were not there that compelling. You have to stay put. And still our sadhana is so-so. काहे सो मतलब सो रहा था. So it is not because there is no opportunity, it is because our willingness to apply ourselves. So please make it a habit to include nitya anusthana, nitya upasana of your Ishtadaiva. Whether it is Devi, whether it is Rama, Krishna, any avatara, whether it is Shiva or Kartikeya or Ganesha or whichever form, connect with them daily. Hey Bhagavan, how are you? Connect with them, speak to him, get energized by him, and then move into your day. After the day is done, take a shower, sit down in front of that Bhagavan. Bhagavan, there were ups and downs, but thank you for the day. Offer your japa again and get up. Then you will start seeing Shanti in your own mind. And that Shanti becomes the very platform on which you build the edifice of your sadhana. Bhavya, great mandir that sadhana can be built for. But if that is constantly unstable, restless, nothing can be built. So Bhagavat Archana, here says Purusha Archana. And then it says, do we have time? Maunam Sadasana Jayaha. Sadasana Jayaha. Maunam. Both. This Vachika Maunam and Manasika Maunam both have to be practiced. Instead of practicing a whole day Maunam, where you have to carry an iPad and write it on everything frustratingly and say, I am in Maunam. What do you want? Select a time where it does not block your responsibilities, and during that time, practice your Maunam. When I wake up in the morning, up until my puja, dhyana, japa, swadhyaya is not done, say up to about 8:39. Oh, till 8:39 it is not possible. Whenever possible, Baba. I'm not asking you to do the exact. I'm giving you an example for a idea. Those 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. No communication with any other responsibility. Maunam. And if that can be possible and accomplished after the tornadoes leave home, the spouse and children when they leave home, then you get that opportunity. Apply it then. You will see how much time and energy you will conserve. Okay, as soon as they go out, then we again this constantly. Am I getting across? I think suddenly everybody is like stabda. So I have to confirm. Maunam asana jayaha. Asana jaya. Asana jaya matlab kya? Before you can sit and do your puja, archana, abhisheka ityadi, japa, dhyana, swadhyaya, one more important thing is asana jayaha. That when I sit in a posture, in a sukhasana, I don't have to be constantly fidgeting around and moving my legs and sthirasanam kuru. sit in a posture and abide in that straight, comfortable posture without having to move for say 15 minutes, increase it to 20 minutes, increase it slowly to 1 hour. That when you sit in that posture, there is no need for any movement. If the asana itself cannot sit, but I want to meditate on the Parabrahma Tattva, घंटा कुछ नहीं उखाड़ पाओगे. पहले बैठना तो सीखो. Swamiji, we have reached to that age where we cannot squat and sit properly. That's fine. Sit in a chair where your legs are on the floor, not dangling. Sit. And when you just stay calm in that posture, to be able to not fidget around and move around and constantly, no. Sthirasanam kuru. Sthira. Natya Shastra. स्थिरो भव. स्थिरो भव, ये आसन है, आसन पे ठीक से बैठो. बैठना तो आता नहीं, कूदना चाहते हो परमात्मा के पास. If there is that kind of a restlessness even in the asana, imagine how much restless is that mind. And in that find a sthiryam, stability. Stability, come what may, an avalanche of experience. I would stand there and take upon it and fulfill that which is demanded by that situation. One of the solutions of situation is running away also, but not always. When Jarasandha from this side and Kalayavana from this side, both of them attacked onto Mathura, by then Mathura was emptied out. What did Bhagavan Krishna and Balarama do? Balarama went southwestwardly and Bhagavan Krishna went northeasternly, two different directions. छोड़ के भागे थे. That also is a solution, but not for everything in life. Whatever be the situation. What will happen? Huh? You will get censured. What will happen? You will learn, right? If you are sincere and humble, you will learn. People will laugh at me. Okay, tell them that their teeth are yellow and you move on. दांत तो साफ कर लो, जाओ, and you move on. Because the world will say something or the other. You be stable. Find that stability within. Be firm, but with an elbow room, that if somebody is pointing something higher, subtler, greater than where I am today, have the humility to adapt that and move. Until then, this is the existing clarity, you will stick to that and then move on from that to next step. Let the world will have that kind of experience. विकेट पे डटे रहो. See, when most of the Indians, we follow cricket, right? there are some balls that you have to step forward, put your bat and arrest that ball right there. It is called defensive stroke. Sometimes you have to step back, turn around and slap that ball all the way to your, that is called a hook. But there is one nasty ball which comes on the seam with the shining side away from you. It has a tendency to leave. If you by inadvertent reflex action you try to meddle with that, it's going with such pace that you will, there is a wicket keeper, there is a first slip, second slip, gully भरे हुए हैं वहां पे. If not one, the other is ready to lapkofy your catch. Then what is to be done? Though by reflexes it is the action that it did, I control myself and then let it go. Let go is also a very good. But what is important is you being on the wicket to face life. Come what may the ball be. Different balls, different strokes. But I have to stay there, sthirata, sthairyam. Then comes, after you have found the sthirasana, prana jayaha. Very important step. That I will talk about next week. May I invite Sushma ji? Oh, sorry, मेरे 12 बज गए. Sushma ji, unmute yourself, Amma. Please, lead us with Hanuman Chalisa.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारी, परनौ रघुबर विमल जसु जो दायक फलचारी. बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार, बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार. जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर. रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा. महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी. कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा. हाथ ब्रज और ध्वजा विराजे, कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे. शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन. विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबेको आतुर. प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबेको रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया. सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, बिकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा. भीम रूप धरि असुर सहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे. लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए. रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई. सबदन तुम रोज सगावे, अस कह श्रीपति कंठ लगावे. सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा. जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते. तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा. तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना. जुग सहस्त्र योजन पर भानु, ली होता ही मधुर फल जानु. प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही. दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते. राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे. सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना. आपन तेज समारो आपे, तीनों लोक हाकते कापे. भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे. नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा. संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे. सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है, प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुवर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्तन धरई, हनुमत से ही सर्वस्व करई। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बल बीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूटहि बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा। की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप, राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुरभूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।
धन्यवाद माते। बिगरू 3 times.
ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्।
Thank you, Hari. ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। टेक केयर एवरीवन, सी यू नेक्स्ट सत्संग। हरि ओम।